Welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel on Tuesday the 29th of August. 3 days left in this transfer window up to midnight Friday, and Celtic are active with a deal that looks like it is just about to go through. A couple of bids having been lodged for Matthias Kvistgaarden, and also a couple of players going out on loan, and also Celtic looking to trim the wage budget and the squad by releasing a couple of the players who are not in Brendan Rodgers' plans. Also today, going to cover those, plus a quick thought about a blueprint for Celtic to win on Sunday against Rangers. And we'll include a little highlights reel of a game that demonstrates how Celtic can beat Rangers at the weekend. Before we start, please like and subscribe. Feel free to pop any comments into the comment section. Always happy to have feedback, and any questions or queries, perfectly fair and fine, and we'll try to respond to those as best I can. And also remember, this week, daily quiz question in the community section, with all the questions being related to important Celtic victories over Rangers over recent years. Just going to talk initially about a blueprint for success at the weekend. I do think Celtic have every possibility of going to play Rangers at the weekend on Sunday and coming away with a positive result. I don't think Rangers have started this season especially well. I think they also are a team in transition and are still very much finding their feet, and have lost obviously to Kilmarnock the same as we have, and have struggled in a couple of other matches against weaker clubs in the Scottish League. Thus, I think Celtic do have the players to beat Rangers on Sunday. Whether Brendan Rodgers lets those players play in the way that is needed to beat Rangers, I don't know, but I sincerely hope that he takes a page out of Ange Postecoglou's book over recent years and plays with more pace, attack, energy, urgency, and gets on the front foot rather than letting Rangers organise themselves in defence. I'm going to pop a highlight reel of Celtic's 3-0 win that from the start of 2022, which kind of catapulted Celtic towards the league title that season. In that game, Rio Hatate scored twice and Lil Abada scored once. The team was led in attack by Georgios Giakoumakis that day. However, the keys, I think, for Celtic beating Rangers at the weekend is getting Kyogo playing at the top of the pitch, not dropping into a deeper role, getting the wide players such as Abada, Yang, Haksabanovic, Maeda into the box to support the main striker, has led to the third goal from Lil Abada that day, and also getting the midfielders further forward, not just Matt O'Reilly, as seems to be the case at the moment, but getting McGregor and Turnbull or Holm, whoever is chosen in midfield that on Sunday, forward to the edge of the box to pick up the pieces, shoot, pass into the box, cross, etc. And also getting our left back and right back further forward, crossing into the box, setting up chances. And I think the goals and highlights of the match that evening very much do show how Celtic can beat Rangers at the weekend. And I really hope Brendan Rodgers uses a page out of Andrew's book, as I think Rangers are there for the taking. And I think it also would be a massive confidence boost for Celtic. So I'll just pop in the highlights reel of that match and speak again after the video is finished. So, hope you enjoyed those happy memories, and I have been having a look through various game highlights of Celtic Rangers matches over recent years, and certainly the way that Ange Postecoglou took it on was to get on the front foot, attack into disorganised defence, who were unable to get themselves set up. This obviously was also very much the case in our 4-0 victory, with Jota's famous goal in that match, and the mix-up with Rangers goalkeeper passing to Turnbull. And I think we would do very well on Sunday if we got back to Ange Postecoglou's way of playing, as I think Rangers are there for the taking. However, we shall see what Rodgers comes up with for the weekend, and hope for the best. If any of you have theories as to how we can win on Sunday and get our title challenge back on the road, feel free to pop that into the comment section. Few updates on transfers in and out and loans in and out. There was some confusion regarding Luis Palma, with some uncertainty as to whether he'd actually left Greece to come for his medical or where he was going, with both Dublin and London said to be the venue for his medical, and also a lot of confusion over things like visas, work permits, international clearance, and so on. However, it is reported with photographs that he was on a plane from Greece to Glasgow yesterday evening and is now in Glasgow completing all the paperwork. And it is thought that it might take a couple of days for things such as visas, work permits, international clearance to go through, as there are one or two extra complications given the fact that he is a Honduran player and also that we are no longer part of the EU. I do hope, however, the SFA and UEFA get things organised for better, as I have bad memories of the Jorge Cadetti transfer, who was a Portuguese international coming from a Portuguese club to Celtic. However, that seemed to take forever to go through and got delayed and delayed and delayed, unlike the transfer of Claudio Reyna from America to Rangers, which seemed to go through in a matter of minutes. However, I'm not a great one for conspiracy theories, and I think the fact that Celtic are getting all that paperwork and visas, etc., sorted out today means that he should be all signed up by Thursday, Friday, and may even be quicker if all the various authorities get themselves in gear. Don't think he would be necessarily available as a starter on Sunday, but I think he could be a great impact player off the bench, as I think he has all the skills to create and score goals against Rangers and against all clubs. And I think he is being likened to Jota and to Scott Sinclair, players who were able to play out wide but cut into the box, shoot from within the box and outside the box. And I think Palma could be an important player for us at the weekend and from then onwards. Celtic do appear to have lodged one or two bids for Matthias Kvistgaarden, the striker who plays for Brøndby. There is some confusion as to what bids have been entered and for what fee, as there are 4 or 5 different newspaper and internet website stories, all quoting different figures and different chains of events and timelines, and also a confusion regarding whether the bids were euros or pounds. He is thought to be a £3 to £4 million player, although Brøndby may well be trying to hold out for more than that, as there is interest from Celtic and from Major League Soccer. One internet site said that Celtic were lodging a £4.2 million bid, and that seems to have met Brøndby's interest and acceptance. And Kvistgaarden appears keen to leave Brøndby and come to Celtic to play European football. And so maybe if Kvistgaarden is especially keen, this may speed up the negotiations. But Celtic may well need to increase their bid to 5 or even 6 million to gain his transfer. And I think from viewing all the stats and highlight reels and scouting data, I think he would be a great player to come to Celtic. And I think he would score in Scotland and in European matches too. No other confirmed players on Celtic's radar, although we are said to be looking for a left back and a centre back and goalkeeper, in addition to Palma and Kvistgaarden. And so we'll update as and when anything does crop up or become confirmed for those. To clear up one player who was previously linked to Celtic, Fabian Rieder, who plays for Young Boys in Switzerland. Now, it was said that Celtic were looking to sign him at the start of the transfer window. However, he stated he had no intention of going to any country other than Germany or England. The interest from Germany never ended up in an actual transfer bid, and there was no interest from England. However, he is now said to be about to sign for Stade Rennais in France for some fee expected to be around about £12 million. Although other sources have said this is actually 17 million. Either way, I don't think Fabian Rieder ever had any desire to come to Celtic, to come to Scotland, and was looking to move to a culture more similar to his and to a bigger league. And we will see from his performances in France and in Europe as to whether he would have been a good player for Celtic. Couple of players on their way out of Celtic on loan, Olufemu and Anderson, who are both off to play for Admira Wacker in Austria on loan for a season. And I hope that this gives them the first team experience to come back to Celtic and force their way into the first team squad. Both are under 19 internationals, and so have the talents to be developed, and with experience may turn out similar to players such as Callum McGregor, who improved considerably after his season-long loan at Notts County at the start of his career. And so I wish them success. Two other players said to be on their way out of Celtic in the next day or two. Ismaila Soro, who is negotiating having the remaining 10 months of his contract terminated, which then would allow him to sign for Beitar Jerusalem in Israel. And the other player, Soro and Ajeti, who we signed for 4.5 million from West Ham. He only scored 8 goals in his 48 matches for Celtic over those 3 years and has been a massive disappointment. He is said to be on his way to Turkey to play for a team called Gaziantep, which I have to admit I've never heard of. There is no mention of a transfer fee. But I think under the circumstances, to get his considerable wages off Celtic's wage bill would be a big compensation, as he is rumoured to be Celtic's third highest paid player at the moment, behind Callum McGregor and CCV. Hopefully, we do get a small transfer fee for Ajeti, as otherwise it's a 4.5 million loss. Our transfers around that time with Soro, Ajeti, Barkas were not very successful, and we also had the farce of the Shane Duffy loan, which also turned out very badly. However, I do think Celtic's scouting system is much, much better now than it was then, and since the incoming of Ange Postecoglou, our transfers have turned out well, or very well, with only a couple of players, such as James McCarthy, being unsuccessful, with people like Kobayashi and Burnaby. One could say maybe the jury is out, and we will see how they develop in the near future. One last thing to mention, it's now been confirmed who the refereeing team will be for Sunday's game against Rangers. The main referee will be Don Robertson, and we have happy memories of his last game refereeing Celtic v Rangers as we won 1-0 in the April Scottish Cup semi-final. However, the VAR referee is Alan Muir, who did us no favours in the Kilmarnock game a couple of weeks ago when he was the main referee on the pitch and seemed to miss a pretty clear penalty, seemed to miss a pretty nasty challenge on Greg Taylor, which took him off the pitch for 4 or 5 minutes for head injury problems. And then, of course, when Taylor was off and we were down to 10 men, Kilmarnock scored the goal. However, hopefully there are no VAR incidents and the game goes well. So just to finish off, please like and subscribe. Feel free to pop any comments into the comment section. Have a wee go at the Celtic Rangers themed fun quiz question in the community section, and speak again tomorrow. So goodbye and hail, hail.
Yeah.